all the way out here?
Take down the unversed from outside your Keyblade. Attack with X and triangles. Use square to defend yourself against the unversed. Anyway, yeah, hey people, welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Last time we finally wrapped up the Olympus Coliseum, which honestly, I still say, fuck that area. Like, I've already done enough verbal beating of it in the last part. I don't want to do it again. Anyway, now we're going into an area that's... Actually, you know what? No, I still don't like this area. Wow. Anyway, I will let this cutscene play and then, yeah, friggin'...
Is he the one?
Yes, Grand Councilwoman. I've confined him until we can determine what he is. Take cover. Leave it to me to handle these fiends. Whatever you are, you're under arrest. Eventually.
Unversed. I'll give you a fight.
Anyway, what I think I'm gonna use these videos to do, for is to, at least when they're applicable, to sort of give memories I have of the Disney movies, maybe. Now, of course, if I've never seen the Disney movie, like for example, I've never seen Lilo and Stitch. At least, I don't think I've seen it. I don't even remember if I've seen it or not. So I won't be able to give any stories about that because, again, I've never seen the Lilo and Stitch. But, yeah, for those applicable, I will use it for that. However, for those who I haven't seen... yeah. Even though I've never seen the movie myself that I can recall, maybe I have seen it, I just don't remember. Honestly, I'm not sure what I plan on doing for the rest of the series with those. Honestly, the only thing that's coming to mind right offhand would be to just talk about random things that are on my mind at the time. I'm not 100% sure. It's not as easy as it's not as easy to figure out, at least for me, as it was with the BioShock Let's Play, because there I knew this kind of game I was dealing with. Now, granted, during that I still had to record basically live. I couldn't freaking edit shit out. But at least with here, I now have that option. So I want to use this series as an opportunity to talk about topics that are important to me, at least. I don't know. Well, I wouldn't say it's important, but anyway, cutscene time.
Very impressive display.
Wait! You help!
I have been imprisoned on ridiculous charges.
Is that so?
I am innocent scientist who created the galaxy's most destructive, constructive species of all time. Why, my experiment could annihilate creatures you fought so hard.
He is bulletproof, fireproof, and can think faster than supercomputer. He can see in the dark and move objects 3,000 times his rather diminutive size. And for reasons preposterous, the Federation Council fears him. They take him away from me and throw me here in small, stuffy, rather badly lit cell.
Because he's so powerful?
Exactly. Everyone always gets antsy in pantsy when somebody more powerful is in the neighborhood. You understand, perhaps? We must make to rescue him, or he'll be banished to far reaches of space.
Okay then. Take me to him.
Experiment 626. His name I give to adorable fluffy creature you're helping for to rescue. And I am genius scientist who created him, Dr. Jumbo Jukiba.
I'm Terra.
Pleasure is all ours. 626 is this way. Hurry!
Anyway, as I was saying, one topic that I've kind of seen is kind of hit or miss with people. I mean, I know some people have talked about this topic, but I think one thing most people do not realize is that maybe it's just me, but I think it is impossible to be objective about difficulty. It is just impossible. Impossible, at least as far as I'm concerned. Because with how drastically players' experiences differ so damn much, you just can't be expected to... Oh yeah, I got the item boost permanently. Can't be expected to be able to actually be objective when it comes to difficulty. That's just unreasonable. Oh yeah, I did get high jump there, so now we can jump higher, thankfully. And actually, I just can't believe I just failed that jump. Anyway, a very good example of this is... Now, this is one fight I personally struggle with. I am not gonna say this is objectively the hardest fight in that game. It isn't. I have long since come to accept that. However, I think this is honestly one of the best cases that I can think of right offhand of it being impossible, excuse me, to be objective when it comes to difficulty. And I am referring to the Abyss Watchers fight in Dark Souls 3. Now, I have already kind of stated that I suck at that fight, and I do really suck at it. That's not gonna change. Granted, on my most recent playthrough Dark Souls 3, I beat them on my first try, but whatever, that's not important. That's the only time I've beaten them on my first try since my first playthrough of Dark Souls 3. Anyway, we do have a chest here that will give us a map of the area, I believe. Yep, and then we want to just step through the teleporter. And I stupid... But yeah, the Abyss Watchers is one fight that I feel like I will not ever master. As much as I want to master it. Honestly, if I did get to a point where I could consistently beat them in one try, I think they would kind of lose their value for me. not to say that... Well, I wouldn't say lose their value altogether. They would still be a fantastic boss. One of the best in the series. Probably top 10 worthy for me. Oops, spoilers for top 30 favorite Soulsborne bosses. Whatever. Actually, speaking of which, I've already started kind of drafting out the order. So the problem is how I'm going to how I'm going to make that into video form, because currently I'm going to be replaying all of the Soulsborne games except for Demon Souls, because the best boss in that game, Fleeting Lurker, in my opinion, would be like number 31 or 32. So I don't even need any footage from Demon Souls, thankfully. But right now I'm mostly gathering footage, and actually I really like this section coming up, which is a Keyblade glider section thing, I guess, if you want to put it that way. This has pretty much the same controls as the segment that you did to get into deep space, so it's not that different. Only now the Unversed actually move around. Also, rewatching some of my videos, I realized that in one of them, I think it was like episode 6, I forget, I realized that I had said Giant Heartless and not Giant Unversed. Apologies for that. I'm just so used to calling these things Heartless, because that's the term that they're given in the later games in the series. And that's apologies on my part. That's just unprofessional, honestly. This room right here, if I'm being completely honest, I hate this room. I really freaking hate this room. So yeah, I definitely do now want to freaking... And I apologize for the cut coming up here. I do die, that's why I make the cut. So I will see you guys back in a moment.
So long.
Apologies for the cut there once again, but anyway, another great case of it. You can't be objective when it comes to difficulty is, at least for me, Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower from the Bloodborne DLC. If you guys watched my series of videos when I did the Bloodborne DLC, Maria was actually the easiest boss in the DLC for me. And I deducted points from her for that. I did not like the fact that I found her so damn easy. Like, yeah, I still recall, I beat her on only my 3rd try. In fact, if I had used my the transformed version of my weapon on that first fight, I probably would have won. In fact, no, scratch that. I most likely would have won. So, as fantastic as that fight is, I have to deduct points from it for, at least for me, it being so damn easy. Do I think she's one of the best bosses in Bloodborne? Yes, absolutely. That's undeniable. Anyone who says she isn't one of the better bosses in Bloodborne is lying to themselves. Like, her lore adds so damn much to the fight that... Honestly, her lore by itself makes her one of the best bosses, even if her fight wasn't so damn fun. And I just realized I accidentally fell off the thing. Whoops, my bad. So... And then I've heard some people say they really struggled with Maria. I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it. But that's because I didn't struggle with her at all. So how can someone expect me to see it when I didn't struggle with that boss? You can't expect me to see why a boss is difficult if I didn't struggle with it. Okay, actually that's not entirely true, because Pontiff Solivan from Dark Souls 3 as well. I don't struggle with that fight. I think I've only died like a total of like 5 times across my 9 or 10 playthroughs. And 3 of them were on my very first playthrough. However, unlike Maria, where I can't really see why people struggle with her, Ponif, I can actually understand why people struggle with him. The same goes with Lorien and Lothric, the Twin Princes. I don't struggle with them. I think at most I've only ever died once or twice per playthrough at most. Even on my first playthrough, I only died like once. And that was in the beginning of Phase 2. And then if the attempt immediately right after that, I killed them no problem. So if Lorien and Lothric is usually considered one of the harder main game bosses in Dark Souls 3, why don't I find them very difficult? That's just the thing. Playstyle. I really don't struggle. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna say that the Twin Princes are a bad boss. No, they're actually one of the best bosses in Dark Souls 3. But that doesn't mean I struggle with them. Like, a boss doesn't have to be hard for me to enjoy it. Hell, some of the best boss fights of all time have been really easy for me. But yeah. Honestly, I think the only things you can actually be close to objective about difficulty with is super bosses, and then even then, you have to realize, they're super bosses. Of course they're gonna be difficult. Like, if you're a super boss that isn't difficult, honestly, you've failed your job as a super boss if you're not difficult. I hate to put it that way, but that's simply the fact. If you are not difficult and you're a super boss, you fail. It's just mind-boggling how we've gotten some really not super challenging super bosses, which is really confusing. Honestly, the best super bosses are the challenging ones. Anyway, cutscene coming up. I will shut up.
Amazing, is it not? Such tremendous power in such itty-bitty package. Truly, he is the one, and that's the only. The mightiest creature in all of galaxy, and his only singular instinct to destroy everything he touches. See?
What? When did you... Give that back!
Too late. He's already marked for destruction.
No, stop! My friend gave me that!
Friend? Are you joking? Such concept is totally lost on 626.
Funny. This whole time I've been telling myself I want to be stronger, more independent. But the second I let my heart do the talking, I find out how little I really know myself, and how much I miss them. That experiment of yours, you sure about him? Maybe in his heart he wants friends, just like the rest of us.
Impossible, Petty. He has no actual feelings, only destructive instincts I have carefully chosen for him. Or perhaps you need another demonstration of my evil geniusness.
Honestly, this boss, I'm not sure what to make of. I think it killed me like twice. I don't remember. I wish I could give some advice about this boss, but I don't even really remember this boss that well. In fact, no, I don't really remember this boss well at all. Wow. I am actually trying to remember. And I do know that you can deflect those stupid electric orb things that it sends at you. I don't know. Excuse me, that was completely so like I said, these electric ball things that it sends at you, you can just simply send back at her, and then... Oh boy! Arceus helps you if you get caught up in that electricity field. That thing packs a mean punch. As you would expect in this crowd mode. These machines here... I mean... The closest thing I have to a tip is just destroy them. Don't even try to outlive their attacks, because if I remember correctly, if you destroy both, the experiment 221 becomes stunned, I believe? I think? I don't remember. Wow. Okay, yeah, if you only destroy one of them, it becomes stunned. I forgot about that. Never mind. Sorry. My apologies. I did not mean to make such a blunder. Whoops. Admittedly, one thing I'm not really great at is landing Firestorm. Maybe it's just me. Oh, and that huge ball of electricity. Don't even try to block it. You won't be able to, as I unfortunately just learned the hard way. I really wish I had more meaningful commentary, because favorite Kingdom Hearts game, but like I said in the previous video, the only game in the series I've played through more than once prior to this series was Kingdom Hearts 1, which I've only played through twice. So it's definitely interesting. Apologies for me acting like a moron here, but for some... Oh yeah, and if they do that flash attack, they will stun you momentarily. And did the green just get the better of me? Wow. Anyway, there's the cutscene coming up, so I will let the cutscene play, and then I will end it off there. This has been Evan Sharkowski. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Oh, you'll be all right, little one. Huh? What is it? Why have you returned?
Maybe he's wondering what a friend is.
Ridiculous.
My name is Terra.
Terra.
Yes. I can't explain friendship. When you feel it, you'll know it.
Not if I have any say in the matter. You are only meant to think about what it is you will destroy next. Now, I fix what is wrong.
Red alert, red alert. Experiment 626 and 2 prisoners have escaped from the cell bay. Security, locate the fugitives immediately. Repeat, experiment 626 and 2 prisoners have escaped from the cell
Well,
bay.
I can't stay here and get caught.
Locate the fugitives immediately.
Ven, Aqua, I'll find some way to make things right.
Okay, that's